Welcome back to another episode of Literally Latine, brought to you by Latino USA TV. I'm here today with Sam.
Hello.
Hi, Sam.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Okay, so Sam, tell me a little bit about yourself, your life, like what makes you you.
Okay, so I was born in Fremont, California, in the Bay Area, and then I moved to Seattle, and then I moved to Phoenix. So I have been around a lot. I am a speech therapist, and I work with kids with autism and Down syndrome and stuff like that. So.
Okay, what is one stereotype about your generation that you don't agree with?
I don't agree with that. At least for me personally, I've experienced that a lot of like older people think that like we aren't like loyal in terms of like jobs and things like that, and that we don't like stick it out when things get tough. But in reality, a lot of those jobs were like they don't really care that much about us. Like they will cut us in a heartbeat. So at least for me, like I know a lot of people that are like, why do you switch jobs so much? Why do you bounce around? But it's like, because like I'm trying to find the best spot for me, and sometimes that takes time, and sometimes I have to bounce around before I find that right fit.
Okay, gotcha. So what led you to becoming a speech therapist?
When I was in second grade, I got diagnosed with a stutter, and they said that I had a severe case of dyslexia. And so this was when like speech impediments weren't very like well known. So they wanted to put me into special ed, and they wanted to just kind of like throw me to the side. And like I got made fun of a lot when I was little because like I would go like I couldn't get it out, and then I couldn't read. I would read a page and I couldn't remember a thing I read. I would do math and all the numbers appeared flipped in my head. So I had like a hard time like growing up with that kind of thing. And so I got older, and I just really wanted to help other kids who had confidence issues, because when I was little, I had a very big confidence issue. I didn't want to talk. I knew certain words that would trip me up, so I would avoid those words at all costs, and I'd be quiet. But I don't want other kids to feel that way, because like you shouldn't have to. Like everyone's different. Everyone has things that make them unique, and like it makes them them. So I really like helping kids be like, hey, you're golden, you're gonna be fine, like just be you. So that's kind of why I got into it. Okay,
so it was something that came within you, and then you're just using it to help others.
Yeah, exactly. And there's not a lot of males in my field, so it's mostly it's a female-dominated kind of area, and so a lot of the younger boys and like grade school and elementary, they really like latch on to me because I'm only 30, so I'm pretty young still, and so like they feel like they can relate to me a lot more. So.
Okay, yeah, I think that's really great and really insightful. What steps did you take to become a speech therapist? Like, how did that all work out for you?
So I was a senior in high school. I had no idea what I really wanted to do. I never paid much attention to it, and I thought about like being a doctor or being a vet, just kind of going through like the whole list of things. And then I was like, you know what? I've always been interested in speech therapy, because I went to speech therapy for like 5-6 years when I was little, and I always like liked it, and it always like intrigued me. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna shoot my shot at it. It's the only thing that really piques my interest. I went to NAU in Flagstaff. And then it just clicked for me.
Okay, yeah, I can definitely see how, just like your life experiences, how they kind of shaped who you are, and now you're in a profession that you're obviously really passionate about.
Oh yeah, very much.
Okay, great. And then what kind of services would you say are super impactful right now to the families that you work with? And are there like speech therapy resources that your families are like concerned about right now?
Yes, so there's a big DDD funding issue in Arizona, and to get that insurance, you just need a diagnosis, whether it's autism, Down syndrome. Once you get that diagnosis from a doctor, they cover like all your therapies. That was like being threatened to be cut because of like budget issues and because like people have been mismanaging the funding. But that's important because a lot of families couldn't get therapy without the DDD. And I have one family in particular that is actually from India, and they came to Arizona specifically for their DDD services because they wouldn't get it anywhere else. Really? And he gets OT, PT, and speech, and it's all covered. And a lot of my patients wouldn't get it without it because they wouldn't qualify for the insurance because they either make too much and whatnot, and they can't like afford it outside of this. So like this helps them so much. And during that like funding issue where they were threatening to cut it, a lot of my patients were freaking out because they're like, oh my gosh, like what are we gonna do? We can't get therapy without this. So that kind of hit me hard because like I grow close to these families, and I see these kids make so much progress, and for like these like politicians want to just rip it away from them just because of like their inability to kind of handle that. It's like, it was crazy to me.
Yeah, it's definitely crazy times.
Oh yeah.
And it's just really insane to really think about how these times, how every little facet is, impacted.
Yes.
And with, the families that you're working with, how do you find yourself, just having those conversations with them?
It's hard because I have a lot of patients that I've seen. So I just started a new job, and patients from my last job follow me to this job, and I've been seeing them for like 5-6 years. So like I'm like part of the family. I have kids who I kind of like view as like little brothers to me because I help them out a lot, and like it's hard because like I just feel so close to them, and I want to like give them the world and do the best for them, but I'm like limited because I'm only their speech therapist. I can't do like all this other stuff behind the scenes, but like I do the best that I can. But it's just hard. It's just hard that like. It's hard, like I feel like they should be given the world, and sometimes like it's just hard not being able to do that for them sometimes.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. And I think what's also super important about your work is that it's evolved over the course of even like 10 years.
Oh yeah, very
where
much.
Speech therapy was very limited. A lot of kids weren't being diagnosed for lack of resources or anything like that. So in the time that you've been working, have you seen it evolved since then? Yeah,
I think there's way more people who like have way more knowledge about it, and there's way more resources out there now. Because back when I got diagnosed with my stutter and dyslexia, no one even really knew what that was. Like they didn't have many programs or things in place to help kids like that. And now there's way more options for people. There's way more information out there, and there's way more therapists who like know what they're talking about to help you. Because back then there really wasn't like that much. No one really knew about it. There was still a weird stigma around autism and stuff like that. And now it's like way more acceptable. Like people know more about it. But back then people were like, oh, like what is that? Like we're just gonna put you in special ed. But now there's way more options for them to get the help they need.
Yeah, and I think that's beautiful, even with, the hard times that we're going through right now, that there's still progress being made. There's still that evolution of care. So I think the work that you're doing is really awesome.
Thank you, thank you.
So outside of work, like tell me like what drives you, like what passions do you have outside of work?
So passions, I'm really into basketball. I played basketball a lot when I was little, so I'm really into that. I'm really into like vinyls. I love music, and I love collecting vinyls. I just feel like it's cool to own the actual music, and like I love playing it like on my vinyl player. It's just really cool and soothing to me. And I love traveling, and I love music festivals. Like I just love music. Music's one of my big motivations in life. Like I'd rather work and spend all my money on going to festivals and music than anything else. That's just what I love to do.
Okay, so would you say that you're into the beat boop boop bop music?
Yes,
then?
Big into the beat boop boop bop music. That's my big thing. Actually, it was my older brother that got me into it. So
okay.
Yeah, I used to be I am still a big like rock music guy, but my older brother got me into house music, and then I was like, oh, this sounds kind of funky. I was like, oh, it's kind of cool though. Then I started grooving to it. Then I got more into like more and more other genres, and now that's like predominantly what I listen to. But yeah, I love the beat boop boop bop music, so it's my jam.
Okay, awesome. So tell me a little bit like about your family, like what makes your family?
So my grandma and grandpa, they're from Mexico. They're from Chihuahua. So they tried multiple times to get across the border. My grandpa failed a couple times. Finally got over. My family lived in they lived in San Jose, and specifically in Palo Alto. So that was when Palo Alto was like a very not safe place, like a murder capital of the world. My family, they lived in like a one room apartment. That's all my grandma and grandpa could afford. It was my grandma, grandpa, my mom, her 2 sisters and brother, all 6 of them in one room. And when my dad started dating my mom, he always told me this story. They heard someone running across the roof, and my mom was like, "Oh, that's fine. That's just someone running from the cops." And my dad was like, "What do you mean?" Like it was just normal to my mom. But so when my mom and dad got married, my mom was very adamant that she wanted to be around raising us, because my grandma and grandpa had to work to like support everyone, so they weren't around a lot. My mom's older sister raised them. My mom didn't want that for us. She wanted to be around for us. She wanted us to have like a childhood, go make friends, play sports, have fun. She didn't want us to raise ourselves. She wanted us to like live life and put us in a very good spot to succeed. So thankfully, I'm pretty blessed. My dad got a job at Microsoft, and he was able to support my mom, so my mom didn't have to work at all, like raising us. So I'm super grateful for that. I'm super grateful to my grandma and grandpa, because like they're the reason I'm here. Me and my cousin were one of the first of the grandkids to graduate college.
Really?
Unfortunately, my grandpa died before he could see us kind of walk down. I got kind of walk. But it was thanks to my grandma and grandpa that I'm here. I was able to go to school and I'm able to do what I'm doing right now. So.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna cry.
It's really cool. My grandma was able to see me at least, but I know my grandpa was up in heaven watching all of us kind of walk. So, and all of the grandkids are successful. We all have successful jobs, all graduated college, we all like live on our own. Like, we're all successful, and I know that's what my grandma and grandpa ultimately wanted for everyone. And so I'm sad my grandpa couldn't like physically be here, but I know he was up in heaven watching us. So
absolutely, and shout out to your mom for breaking those intergenerational family curses.
Oh, yes,
the
definitely.
Eldest daughter taking care of everyone.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Shout out to all the oldest daughters. Your work does not go unnoticed.
Oh, it's very hard. It's very hard for them because like that's like a lot to do. You have to raise yourself and like everyone else. So
yeah, and I love that, you know, your lineage is so important to you, and it's something that you still hold in your heart. So how do you find ways that like honor your culture or honor your grandparents in like your daily life?
So I just feel like for me, I just try to be as like I just want to help everyone that I can help, because I'm only here because of like people being selfless to help like my grandma, grandpa, my mom and her sisters get here. So I want to help like as many people as I can. That's why I'm in speech therapy, because I work with a lot of lower income families who are from like are from Mexico and came over here and are really struggling. And I just feel like that's my way to give back, is like help them help their kids succeed in the best way that I can help them out. So, and then my family is very multicultural. My uncle is Japanese, my uncle's African American, and my little brother just married someone who is also African American. So like we're very like a multicultural family. So I'm used to being around different cultures, and like different cultures are a beautiful thing. Like I feel like I don't know. I love that. Like every time my family hangs out, it's just like a cultural mixture of stuff going on. So it's awesome.
Yeah, and I bet that's something that I think that your grandparents would be proud of too, right?
100%.
Okay, so really quickly here, what's one piece of wisdom or perspective that you think that you want to pull from older generations that you think the younger generations should still pass on?
I think the older generations, it's a lot of the connections that they make. Because I feel like in like our era of social media and everything being so readily available, people struggle to make genuine connections. And like people like in the older generations, they have like really strong connections with people they've known for years. And I feel like people nowadays, they flip flop through friends, flip flops through girlfriends and whatnot, boyfriends, and people are so into social media, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, they don't like make those genuine connections. So I would say do your best to make friends, really work and water those friendships, because it's hard to make genuine friends nowadays.
I couldn't agree more, especially as an adult. Oh my gosh, it's so hard.
It's so hard.
I had to download Bumble BFF.
It's hard. It's so hard. And then like dating is even harder. And cause like, it's a pain. Like I'm happy I met my girlfriend. I met her naturally. I met her going to a rave. So like naturally I didn't meet her through any social media. And nowadays it's so hard to do that. So hard to do that.
Alrighty, well, thank you so much for your time, Sam.
Of course.
And for all of our Bee Boo Boo Bop listeners, music lovers there, maybe you'll catch Sam at the next rave.
You probably will. I'm there all the time.
All right, thank you so much, and we'll see you guys later.